the rest of the story. If the geologists are to be believed, it was a vast, desolate basin some 300 million years ago. The ocean itself was not far away, and sometimes the seas would rise so high that the salt water would pour into the basin. But the region was mostly arid, so much so that the trapped seawater would evaporate quickly, leaving only its salt behind. And thus did layer upon layer upon layer of salt accumulate in this basin until the combined layers of salt had reached a thickness of 1/3 of a mile. As millions of centuries passed, the land changed, submerging that rock-salt slab, hundreds of square miles of it, beneath 1/4 of a mile of limestone and shale and soil. Now along comes man. Man needs salt to survive. It's been said, deprive a nation of salt and it'll soon be defeated. Almost 100 years ago, the secret Mother Nature had concealed was revealed, for it was then in 1895 that people began digging in the earth covering that great salt basin, and they uncovered the first teaspoons of the countless tons of rock salt. Extracting the mineral was a struggle from the start. The foreman of the crew who sank the first mine shaft called the project a nightmare. First 100 feet of glacial drift, some of it like quicksand, some of it impregnated with blinding hydrogen sulfide gas. Next, 600 feet of sandstone and limestone. Occasionally encountered water courses caused frequent flooding, but they kept on digging. 8 workers died before that first shaft was down. Today, that same salt mine is among the most vast on our planet. Geologists guesstimate that if every other salt mine elsewhere were closed down forever, that one could supply the salt needs of the entire world indefinitely. It's a labyrinthine network of gigantic corridors, massive hallways, wide as 4-lane highways, tall as 2-story houses. It's a city of solid salt, covering more than a square mile. The ceilings are supported by towering pillars of salt. There's even a building which once served as a mine office made solely of salt blocks. The temperature stays at a year-round constant 58 degrees, the relative humidity at a comfortable, healthful 55%. There are no occupational diseases associated with salt mining in this region. In fact, the miners rarely suffer from common colds or other respiratory diseases. Of course, benign as the mine has proved for humans, its salt is a powerful corrosive for various metals. It's a disaster for automobiles. That's all the more significant when one considers that this great salt mine is not in Austria. No, it's not in Poland. It's not in any of the countries often associated with salt mining. This mine which you have just visited is the tip of a subterranean saltberg known as the Michigan Basin. I mean in the USA, state of Michigan. 1 jillion tons of car-killing salt. A city of salt. 1/4 of a mile directly beneath the for-real city of Detroit. Now you know the rest of the story.